part in my, papers. Okay, when my brother was born, I was extremely pissed off. Firstly, because I wanted a sister. Secondly, because my parents rejected my suggestion to name him Cinderella. Thirdly, because I liked being the center of attention, which is obviously still the case. It's like, what better way to take the thunder away from my brother's wedding than to have my parents' first grandchild the week before? Anyway, it's an ongoing joke in my family that Umar was a whiny pain in the... I crossed out one word and wrote but until he was about like 5 or 6 or like 23-ish. But now looking back on the years we were growing up together, I realized that maybe he was just misunderstood. He was not as much whiny as he was a dude with extremely high standards and a very low tolerance for inferior service. He cried when left in the care of babysitters because he couldn't accept a teenage girl as a caretaker when he knew his mother was available. He cried when authority figures said no to him because his inherent sense of justice fueled his insistence that he was in the right. He cried when I tried to poke him in the eyes because he strongly felt that he deserved a sister who wouldn't poke him in the eyes. Umar has since found less screechy ways of expressing his frustrations. Although he still holds on to his rigorous standards, he exercises them in only the most loving way. For example, I've always admired how Umar makes friends for life. I have known many of the people here since they were in elementary school. I remember being puzzled while watching my mother lug our desktop computer into the minivan so Umar could go to a LAN party at Carl's house. I have no idea what that means, still. I wasn't allowed on AIM that day because Umar had taken the entire computer. I remember witnessing the first performance of the shortly lived but widely influential band called Duck Sauce. There's Duck Sauce on the Umar?
Duck Sauce on the Umar.
Yeah, okay. I remember and sometimes still watch the music videos by the independent filmmaking collective known as Sloppy Productions, who covered hits by Weezer and Electric Six. And now that brings me to Katie. A few months into their semester at CMS, Umar asked me to meet Katie while she was in New York so we could talk about screenwriting. We had a few gin cocktails together, and right afterwards I called Umar and told him that his friend Katie was very smart and interesting. Sometime later he told me he was going to ask her out. I now wonder if our meeting was Umar's sneaky way of sending Katie through the rigorous sister approval process without either of us knowing it. But since then, Katie has become the sister that I longed for as a child. Now I have the best of both worlds. Here it comes. And my brother, who is my closest friend and confidant, has an incredible life partner. I see the way you two look at each other right now, and I know in my heart that you will continue to look at each other that way until you're 120 years old and made mostly of robot parts. I love you both so much, and I'm so happy that we're all such a big part of each other's lives today, tomorrow, and always.